What's up, and welcome to Project XTalk Extra, your weekly podcast supplement. If you like that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop us a rating over on your podcast service of choice. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and today we have a rare solo show for you. It's a bit of a news drought, so I wanted to discuss something with you guys, and that is specifically PlayStation Now versus Game Pass. For those that don't know, PlayStation Now is essentially PlayStation's version of Xbox Game Pass. It allows you to pay a monthly subscription fee. You get a catalog of games, gives you the ability to stream some games via the cloud. PlayStation Now, while it does offer a selection of PS4, PS3, and 16 PS2 games, it comes at the price of $60 a year versus the $100 or $180 for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, I've been using Game Pass on Xbox for years, and I'm currently in the middle of my 3-month trial of PlayStation Now over on my PS5. So I've had experience with both, and I wanted to take a critical and unbiased view and see how they stack up against each other. I know some people are going to be like, oh, it's an Xbox channel. Obviously, it's not unbiased. Sure. Like you can have that impression. I do think that the way I'm going to approach this will present points in a fair, balanced manner. But feel free to stick around to the video. Let me know what you guys think. So let's start with Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, as many people are probably using. Obviously, this is Xbox's main driver this generation. They're pushing Game Pass hard with Game Pass Ultimate and bundles in Game Pass with Xbox Live. So you get a catalog of games, which include all first-party games day and date into the service, but you also get a bunch of third-party titles launching directly into it. Just this year, we've seen games like Outriders launch directly into it. So you get big third-party releases. It's not all just the first-party major titles. Now, you compare that to PlayStation Now, where you can't bundle that with PlayStation Plus, so you have to pay separately to play online, and nor do any first or third-party games actually launch into the service. PlayStation Now is strictly old games. There have been, as far as I could find, no record of PlayStation Now getting games day and date when they launch. I'm sure maybe there was an obscure indie game, but no major titles have come out into PlayStation Now. Both Game Pass Ultimate and PlayStation Now give you the ability to stream, but in my experience, streaming is a much higher quality on the Xbox side. Now, this doesn't mean PlayStation Now is bad, because I did play all these Sly Cooper games through the streaming, and my main issues were that I experienced some, quality drops. The resolution really took a dip at some points, and it missed inputs all the time using PlayStation Now. When you compare to things like xCloud, I feel like it's a smoother experience. It's still not great. I still don't like cloud gaming overall, but mind you, they were on the same Wi-Fi connection, so they should have had similar experiences. But like I said, I'm not the streaming guy. I don't really care about streaming. Maybe if I stream them to my PC, because you can stream both to your PC. You can actually stream both on your console too. So they're pretty equal in terms of streaming ability. That's not really the deciding factor here. The thing I think that matters most is when we look at the catalog of games. And I think this is where Game Pass absolutely flexes its muscles. PS Now actually has more games, and I was surprised when I found that out too. I feel like the quality is actually higher in Game Pass. What you'll find in PlayStation Now is primarily, in my opinion, shovelware or indie titles. There are occasional gems, like I know The Last of Us 2 is in there right now, but that's going away in February, I believe. Bloodborne's in there, Ratchet and Clank, the Sly Cooper series, but the quality of the library often falls short. Because apart from those few select big titles, you have really small, obscure indie games or those like 99-cent shovelware games. I just don't understand why the catalog is filled with so much garbage. Obviously, everyone has different tastes. If you love those games, maybe you will love those games. There are some good games in there. But as someone that's played over 70 games this year, the majority of which were in Game Pass, I found myself struggling to find things to play within PlayStation Now. So just this week, I tried out Medieval, which I do not recommend at all. The game is absolutely horrendous. It controls terribly. That's the PlayStation 2. It was remade for the PlayStation 4. Not a great game. I also played Sonic Forces. Also not a great game. It's much more enjoyable than Medieval, though. It's a Sonic game, but it's one of the weaker entries for sure. In my opinion, I think the PlayStation Plus collection is which I know is only available to PlayStation 5 users. That's where the quality comes in on the PlayStation side in terms of like a game catalog. There are so many good and big titles in the PlayStation Plus collection, which when you get your PS5, if you haven't played them, they're there for free. You get things like God of War, Ratchet and Clank, Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy, Fallout 4, Days Gone, if you like that kind of thing. But there's a lot of quality to be found there, and I wish that they would do some sort of expansion, maybe a rotation with PlayStation Plus collection, because something that hurts the PlayStation Now service, in my opinion, is that not every game is downloadable compared to Xbox, where I can download every single game on the Xbox Game Pass service. Every PlayStation 3 game has to be streamed, and that is incredibly frustrating because the PlayStation 3 games, those are usually the good ones on that service. And I know there's a few PlayStation 4 games on there that are good, but the PlayStation 3 catalog is much better. That's where you have all the Ratchet and Clanks. Well, majority of Ratchet and Clanks, I should say. You have all the Sly Cooper games. You have all the God of War games. Make those downloadable natively. I know people are like, they can't do it. The PS3 cell processor. They can and they could, but they're too lazy to. I don't buy that excuse. We know for a fact that they could do it. Brings up another issue is that there's currently no PlayStation 5 games on the service, where on Xbox you can play every generation from the Xbox original, the 360, the Xbox One to the Series X and S games. They're all downloadable. On PlayStation Now, you can only do 16 PS2 games, which are the ones that came to PS4, the PS3 ones, which you have to stream, and then the PS4 games, which are the majority, but like I said, not great quality. My overall impression is PS Now isn't a terrible service. It's actually a pretty good one. It's reasonably Overall, my impression is PS Now isn't a horrible service. It's reasonably priced for what it is, but when the competitor is offering such a better experience and then you see success with that model, you have to wonder why aren't they focusing more on the PS Now service? I know that isn't Sony's strategy and PlayStation Now is basically ignored by them, but I guarantee you that if you bundled in PlayStation Plus with PlayStation Now, you would see subscriptions skyrocket. I would buy that bundle in a heartbeat, even if I don't constantly download things from PS Now. Just the fact the value for money is undeniable there. Let me bundle those two things together. Then you have the PS Plus games coming in, you have the new PS Now games. It's a win-win for the consumers. You don't even have to put your first party titles in there because I know that is their big thing they're averse to. They do not want to launch their $70 AAA games into a subscription service. Don't do it then. You don't have to. It's still good value for money if you let me bundle those things together. Maybe it's a discount if you bundle them compared to buying both separately. Maybe it gives you a bonus perk, something. You could do so much more with this service. I just wish that it was more like Game Pass with the quality of titles, the next gen games in there. The launching of first and third party titles into the service is obviously the big draw of Game Pass. I would subscribe to Game Pass every year, if only just for the Microsoft titles. The fact that they give you high quality indie games, high quality third party games launching day and date in there is just a bonus. So, as it stands, from my perspective, Game Pass is the clear winner in the battle of the subscription services. But let me know what you guys think down below. Please share, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Maybe I'll highlight some for the next podcast. But until then, I have been Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon. I will see you guys next time on another episode of Project XTalk Extra. See ya.